Yo, what's good, fam? It's your man Jay. I'm back with another episode of Evolutionary Comics, and this is one of the last videos of 2024 that I'm about to make. I'm gonna make a couple today, tomorrow, sometime in that time frame. I'm trying to get that early jump on 2025. And trying to make it the year that 2024 was supposed to be. 2024, that was the Kobe year. We're supposed to, drop 81 on them or something dynamic, and it didn't happen. There wasn't enough consistency on my part. I still don't grasp the whole algorithm thing completely. But one thing that I did do was I picked up some dope books and some stuff that was on my original top 10 most wanted comics. And I think I made that video about 3 years ago. And I got some stuff that wasn't on there. And, I got some pretty good stuff in this past year. So I'm pretty happy with my collecting endeavors. And I'm hoping to expound and just explode exponentially for 2025. What do you guys have on your list as far as your top 25, or not your top 25, maybe 25, but what's on your top 10 list and how do you compile that? Because like I've often said, your keys don't open my door. Everybody has keys that are key to them. It may be a key comic, but it may not be something as vital to you as it is to someone else, and vice versa. So hit me up in the comments. Let me know. Before we start the video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, do all the things that make a YouTuber successful for me. Talk to me. The comments are big because that kind of navigates me in the direction of what I should be talking about, what you guys want to talk about, what you want to hear. Also in 2025, I plan on doing more collaborations. I also plan on doing some comic shop reviews, actually going into the comic shop and showing you guys different shops for my travels, when I move around. So anyway, I got this list here, and I'm going to put up some graphics over here, make it look real nice. So that's why, it may take me till tomorrow to put this out. Today is December 30th. I have a wedding to shoot tomorrow, December 31st. So, we're going to squeeze this in here somewhere. But anyway, without further ado, you know the phrase. Let's get it! All right, so like I said, I picked up some dope stuff in the past, and going back to my list from, I believe it was 3 years ago. I think I'm being correct. The video is still down there somewhere, so I might put it in the link at the end so you guys can go back and say, what was on the original list. But I'm going to tell you, one of the first books that I mentioned was X Factor #6, the first appearance of Apocalypse. I picked this one up this year. I'm super happy about that. Apocalypse is he's my #2 favorite villain as far as the Marvel Universe goes. So I was happy to pick this one up. I got it for a good price, and I think I graded it out like at about 9.4. It's a really good book. It needs to be pressed, so may bump up to a 9.6. That really doesn't matter because I'm probably never going to get it graded, put in a slab or anything like that. I'm probably going to use one of those comic capsules that I use, which you'll be seeing with another couple of the books that I'm going to show you. So pick that up. This one, you guys know, I picked this one up. This was on my list as well. This is Spidey Super Stories #11. This one shows the first appearance of Valerie the Librarian. She is actually the first first woman, period. But she's also a melanated young lady who donned the Spider-Man costume. So she was the first before Miles and before all the other ladies who have donned the outfit. She was there first. So anyway, I think this book is from sometime in the 70s, but it's a Romita cover, John Romita cover, senior. So yeah, got that. And let's see. I didn't get Tomb of Dracula #10. But I did get 13. I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer, y'all. Wasn't on my list, but Tomb of Dracula #10, the first appearance of Blade. It is. This one is, I think, the one of the origin stories of Blade. There's a couple of them out there, but this was a vital one to pick up as well. So we're gonna keep it moving and pick that #10 up in 2025, right? Right? No, hey, I've always been told, hey, you kind of manifest things. You got to speak on it, and it'll come to fruition. All right, so this book, I don't know why, but I never put this one on my list. This one wasn't on my list, and again, I'm flabbergasted about that. But this is Luke Cage, Hero for Hire #1. Picked this one up for a pretty good price. I think I graded this one out like about a 7.0 to a 7.5. So yeah, it's pretty dope. This one, I might actually get this one graded because this is, to me, this is one of my major keys, one of the major keys. Just like Tomb of Dracula #10 and some other books that are going to be coming up too. But yeah, this is a lovely book. Really dope. Love the artwork in that. This book, I will say this about this. This is like my favorite style cover. I think this one was done by Romita as well. But this blaxploitation era, that kind of artwork and the interiors, that's my favorite of anything in comics. To me, that's just like super dope. The sister with a cigarette hanging out her mouth and the afro, the perfect afro, and then the pigs in the background, doing their dirt. So yeah, this is absolutely a dope book. This is probably one of my favorite covers of all time. Next up, this was #2 on my list, and I actually picked up 2 of these this past year. I have 2 of Strange Tales 169, the first appearance of Brother Voodoo, now known as Dr. Voodoo. But I picked up 2 of these. One is probably like in about a mid to low grade. This one is probably like in that 6.5, 7.5 range, somewhere in that range. But it's a beautiful book. Super happy to have it. And yeah, this was like #2 because Brother Voodoo, Dr. Voodoo is, I don't know. I can't say, sometimes I say he's my favorite character, but then it flips back to Black Panther. Then it, flips over to Blade. I love them all. So I can't, it's no thing where, I guess that's why I say Misty Knight is #1, because she's a woman. Yeah. All right, so those are some of the books that I picked up in the past year. Some of the stuff that was on my original top 10 list. Today's list, I'm going to start out at #10 with Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur #1, the first appearance of Lunella Lafayette. I think her middle name is Louise or something like that. But she is a genius of a young lady. She hails out of Manhattan in New York. I think she got her name Moon Girl because I guess her classmates thought that she daydreamed a little bit when she went into her thoughts about things that she wanted to create. Sounds like me when I was, when I was in middle school and everything like that. I wasn't nowhere quite as smart. I was back there thinking about comic books and football practice and stuff like that. But yeah, so I really love the character. If you don't know, there was a Disney Plus show. I think it ran for 2 seasons. Unfortunately, it was canceled. The reason why it was canceled because not enough of us was watching it. And it was a really dope show. I can't wait for my granddaughters to get old enough to kind of, understand it a little bit better, because I'm going to definitely run it back for them and let them see. And yeah, I want to get that #1 because that's her first appearance. And I probably want to get a couple of them so I can, maybe get like 3 or 4 so I can have one for myself, and then my 3 granddaughters, they can have a copy for themselves. And I will get those slabs so it preserves it, and make sure that they have a reader copy or something like that. You know how they always do the facsimiles. I hate the facsimiles, but I get it. So, yeah. So that's my #10. Next up for my #9, I got my little list here so I don't forget anything. Little kids, introducing Calvin. When I grew up, I was reading Archie comic books and Jughead comic books when I started off like at the age of 7, 8. My Aunt Tammy she used to always have like an endless supply of these comic books. And my mom really didn't buy them for me. She didn't believe in us reading comic books and stuff like that. But my Aunt Tammy, she used to, supply me, and, me and her were kin spirits because we always been nerds. I didn't wear glasses back then. She did, but, she was an avid reader. The Hardy Boys and Archie comic books, all kind of stuff. And that's, one of the things that we bonded on. She unfortunately is no longer with us, F cancer, but she always has a place with me because she truly is the first person that put me on to comic books. Real story. But anyway, going back to the little kids and Calvin, that is kind of like that style with the Archie comic books. The comic book came out in 1972. The ones that I'm looking for is Little Kids Introducing Calvin, number 10, number 11, and number 12. So those are the ones that are I'm considering my top 10, even though I expand that list a little bit. But those are the ones that are on my list that I'm trying to hunt for. All right, so number 8 is Vampirella, number 1, came out in September of 1969. This is one of the first works by artist Billy Graham. Billy Graham is one of my favorite artists of all time. I love his work. Sanford Green is probably like my number 1 favorite, then Billy Graham, and then maybe John Romita Sr. For the stuff that he did during the blaxploitation era. Those are among my top favorite artists, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say Giancarlo Burnell from Crescent City Monsters and Dream Fury Comics. That's the other comic brand that I want to shout out to. What up, Noon? How you doing? Yeah, so those are among my favorites. Anyway, to keep it moving, yeah, so Vampirella, number 1. I'll settle for Creepy, number 32. And there was one other one, Eerie, number 28. Those are the books that they're pretty much the first artworks by the artist Billy Graham. He's a great artist. I love like his detailed. It breaks down. I'm going to show you a picture right here. So y'all check that out, and you'll see the detail, the intricacy of a lot of the images that he drew out. It's just dope to me. I love that about it. Especially even though it's in black and white, it still gives you that spectacular look to it. So yeah, that's my number 8. Moving up to number 7, and Black Boy Fly. And I'm not sure if the comic book was created by Hebrew Brantley or who actually created the comic book, but it is based on the art of the great artist in Chicago, Hebrew Brantley. I'm still saving up to try to get some of those statues, but this comic book is like it's a ghost, really. It's very difficult to come across. I forget what the print run on it, but I know the print run was extremely low. But because I'm such a fan of the artist, I definitely want this particular book in my collection as well. Right now, I think I saw it on eBay, and it's running like 5 stacks. So I don't have 5 stacks, for a book right now. But one day, hopefully soon, sometime in the year 2025, when I make my comeuppance, when I put that camera to work, then maybe I'll be able to acquire that one. But that is my number 7 book on my top 10 most wanted comics list. All right, number 6. My number 6 book is, of course, I think this is people who don't have it. This is always on their list, and the crazy thing is, so many people have this book, and not only do they have it, but they have it in multiples, and that is Ultimate Fallout number 4, the first appearance of Miles Morales, who was created by Brian Michael Bendis. And Miles has taken the Marvel world by storm. With those Intro to Spider-Verse movies, he's become, I guess, as big as a Marvel star solo by himself as any star that's out there right now. people are talking about, they want to see Blade. They're looking at Deadpool movies and all of this stuff. But Miles Morales is probably the headliner right now if there were a live movie. Those Intro to Spider-Verse movies, like I said, they are extremely dope. And you got to love them because they're extremely well done. So it is a historical grab to get this Ultimate Fallout #4. Hopefully I'll be able to do that. It came out in, I believe, 2011. And I think the crazy thing is, I think I saw it back then. I wasn't really collecting hardcore or anything. I was just like dabbling. But I saw it when it was at a very inexpensive price. And I passed it. And then after that, I think in like maybe 2018, 2019, I saw a second printing. And it was extremely cheap. I think it was like $20 or something like that. And I passed again. Little did I know that this Miles Morales guy was going to be such a great, have a great impact. He's definitely an epic character. He's very relatable. He's still a kid, and he reaches out to both Black and Puerto Rican ethnicities. And but everybody likes him. It's not just for those people. All kids seem to fall in love with Miles, and I'm definitely loving the run by Cody Ziegler right now. I'm subscribed to it right now. That character is he's hanging out in Wakanda with the Black Panther, trying to beat this vampirism that resulted from Blood Hunt. So if you don't know about it, you got to catch up. Read Blood Hunt and then grab that Miles Morales by Cody Ziegler. So yeah, it's a really dope read right now, and it should be in your pull list. If you're into that kind of thing. All right, so #5 on my list of top 10 comics that I wish to acquire, my top 10 most wanted list. And this is purely about the Queen. This is no other character do I really care about. It's a couple other characters making their first appearance. But in Giant Size X-Men #1, it is the first appearance of Storm. And that's just one of those books that I feel like you have to have because, it's Storm. The Storm is the Queen. I mean, there's a lot of other Black female characters that you fall in love with. Misty Knight, you just love them to death. But Storm is, despite all the crap that Marvel puts her through and matching her up with Stinky Wolverine, which I absolutely hate. I hate that fact from back in the day, and I've always loved when T'Challa smacks Wolverine around. Y'all check it out because he smacked him around quite a few times. But I just dislike that union. I understand they're friends, but it's like that in life sometimes. Sometimes your favorite chick, she decides to go mess with the little dirty guy or something like that. But it is what it is. So that's why Misty is my girl. But Misty do the same thing. Just thinking about it, because they got Misty messing with Daredevil and Iron Fist, and dang. Anyway, so Giant Size X-Men #1 is a book that I want to pick up right now. It looks like a raw high grade copy is running like 3K. Like, I guess, I don't know. I see people with it. I see people with mid-grade copies, but I'll settle for a mid-grade because people that don't really understand grading, you can get a copy of a book that's like a 6.0 and it'll appear like there's very little wrong with it. It'll have like maybe some creasing, some, crease in it that breaks color and maybe some spine ticks or like a corner torn or something like that. I don't mind. If long as the pages are intact and everything like that, then I'm good with it. So yeah, let me get that Giant Size X-Men #1 out you. So that's my #5 book. All right, so my #4 book, it's not just one book again, it's the series. And this book is extremely hard to find. The only place that I was able to find them, I've never seen it in a while. In every comic book shop I go to, I ask people, I ask them, hey, do you have this particular book? And they don't have it. But the series of Fast Willie Jackson, I need issues 2 through 7. And that's because I acquired #1. So this is the book, and this is actually touted as more so the Black Archie. This book came out in the 70s, I guess 76, by Fitzgerald Periodicals. And yeah, it's hella dope. This is a decent copy. This one, if it gets clean and pressed, it's gonna grade out pretty high. But I still need issues 2 through 7. They are getting up there as the demand, the look for them. I think it also was something that was a low print run on these. But if you see these anywhere, and no matter the condition or whatever, grab them for me and hit me up and let me know, because I need it in my collection. But yeah, just look at the artwork on it. And this is the comic capsule that I was referring to. And the beauty of these is it protects your book, but it also gives you the ability to open it up and look on the inside. And I love the comic capsules for that. I wish they were thicker, kind of like the CGC slabs, but I love it like this because it's not in a comic book coffin. This is something that it preserves the book, but I'm able to check it out. And to give the comic and to give the comic capsule, a little bit more pub, the glass on it, the plastic on it is it also has like UV protection. So that helps against the sunlight rays as well. That's added protection for your books, and it's in a secure little case here. And if you see, the case kind of locks like that. So it's really, really dope, and I'm excited about these comic capsules. So I'm gonna order some more. I think the first time I ordered, maybe 30. Not sure, but I need more of these. So and they make great gifts. If you have a comic book collector, as a loved one, buy them these. And cause like my family, they don't know what kind of comic books to go get me. My dad, he goes to like flea markets and thrift markets, and he just says, hey, let me get the whole stack. And he really doesn't know exactly what I'm looking for. So I appreciate him for that. But if you have a loved one, y'all get them some comic capsules to protect their investment. All right. So my number 3 book on my most wanted list, my top 10 most wanted list. This book, I learned about it from my man Rico. And I think there was a discussion with the Black Comic Lords YouTube channel, or might have been Blurcore or Black Collectibles, art books, comics, cards, etc. on Facebook. Those are places where you can locate some of these people that I refer to. And, we can chop it up about comics. I'm on there. I try to stay as involved as possible. I'm always lurking. I'm always watching. And that's how I learned about this particular book. This is a historical comic book. And I think any serious collector, any serious Blur collector to be specific, it's going to be on your top 10 list. I don't know how many people have it. I know that before it's all said and done, I would love for this book to be in my collection. But it is the first comic book that is written and drawn by African Americans. It looks like I think Orrin Cromwell Evans, Bill Driscoll, John Terrell, George Evans, Leonard Cooper. Those are among the creators. Some of the characters in the book were Lion Man, Dim Dillies, Ace Harlem, Sugarfoot. That's funny because people still get called Sugarfoot these days. But this particular book, All Negro Comics, it came out in 1947. And it is historical, like I said, because it is the first book that was written and drawn by African Americans. And to me, that is a very historical and significant event in the timeline of comic collecting, of comic books for Black people. That inclusion was so vital, and I think it paved the way for us to be where we are now. Paved the way for a lot of other books that are completely Black created by, the artwork. Sometimes there's a whole Black company that's actually doing it. Anyway, All Negro Comics, that the first edition, the first book, I don't know if it came out in any sequels came out, but the number 1 book is the one that I'm looking for at my number 3 spot of my top 10 Most Wanted Comics. All right, and this book, you might know because I said it already. This has been, the top two books have been pretty much consistently my number one and two books of Most Wanted books. And I do have my eyes set on the number two book. And the reason what drags a little bit is because I do want a high grade copy of it. I want as perfect as possible. And I know for a perfect one, that's going to run me, probably some thousands. I don't know. I think my first time seeing it is when I worked at CGC. And I think I told this story before, but there was this place where we had to get boxes, and it was before I was a grader when I was working in shipping. And it was a place I had to go get boxes from to put comics in. And there was this Tomb of Dracula number 10 sitting on the table. And I'm like, yo, that's my number two Grail. That's my number two book. Why is it just sitting here? So it just sat there for days and days and days. And I was like, yo, what the hell? Why is it here? I never knew. One day I just went in there and it wasn't there. So I'm guessing that it got to the right place and the right destination, which I'm happy about that. My buddy Mac is probably the one that found it and put it there. But anyway, when I saw this book, I looked it up at the value, and a high grade copy was running about $10K. And so I don't know if that's the actual price right now, but that is my number two Grail, and I am setting my sights on acquiring it in 2025. That's my goal. Like I said, it's a manifestation. I'm speaking on it. It is the first appearance of Blade. One of my favorite characters. I think everybody black is one of your favorite characters. I still, and I will always believe that Wesley Snipes and his portrayal of Blade is number one of the greatest comic book movies ever made, period. It's so dope that I've literally, no exaggeration, I've watched this movie over a couple hundred times. And in fact, just talking about it makes me want to turn to it right now because that's how dope of a movie it was. But that is one of my favorite characters. I'm loving the Brian Hill run right now that's going on with the Blade Red Band series. Right now, it is on issue number 3. And it is one of those books that as soon as it hits the stores, it's something that I want to acquire. I got a box over there. Actually, you can see it in the background. There's a short box back there. There's nothing in that box but Blade comic books. And I'm going to continue to collect it. And I definitely do. I want to collect that Tomb of Dracula number 10, my number 2 book on my top 10, 25, or my top 10 book. I keep saying 25. Maybe it's in my cards to get 25 books that are in my top list of grails that I want to acquire. I don't know. But anyway, moving on to my number 1 book in my top 10 most wanted comic books. And if you notice that the list was missing somebody so far, yes, it is. I have the first appearance of Misty Knight. I have a lot of her books, so it's not Misty. Like I just talked about Blade. I talked about Brother Voodoo, which I almost have every appearance of Brother Voodoo, Dr. Voodoo, in comics. That's one of my goals, is to collect every last one of them. Let's see, who else? I'm on a roll with my Luke Cage stuff. And I'm going to be able to complete the complete runs of any Luke Cage book pretty soon here, sometime within 2025. That's another goal. Let's see. Yeah, so that only leaves somebody out. Who? Y'all know who it is. Y'all know y'all. I can't leave out the Kang and not Kang the Conqueror, but like how LeBron James referred as the Kang, but I cannot leave out T'Challa and Black Panther, his first appearance in Fantastic Four number 52. I'm going to run it down because that is my number 1 grail, but I want 53, and I think it was 54 that he's also in that one as well. But I want all of those books, but my number 1 grail of all time is Fantastic Four number 52, and I am on the verge of just shooting lower just to have a copy in my collection. You know, like they say, no grade is, what is it? Low grade is better than no grade. So that is my number one book that I'm hunting for. That's gonna be number one until I get my little grubby hands on it. So that's it. I said a mouthful. So anyway, that is my top 10 most wanted comic books that I plan to chase after in 2025. My list has changed a little bit from the original list that I put out 3 years ago. A lot of stuff I've acquired, a lot of stuff I've learned about. I've learned about from Rico with Black Key Comics. I learned about from the Black Comic Lords, from Rich and the guys over there. My buddy Kenya, shout out to Kenya. Kenya always pops up with some really dope stuff. He showed me, I can't remember the number, but that Spawn book that showed Spawn hanging. I definitely want that book because I think in that book Spawn fights the Klan or something like that. But yeah, you know, Kenya pops up out of the blue, and he hit me up, and you know, he'll put just the book, a picture of the book, and I'll be like, dang. And he don't know what kind of frenzy he sent me in, because then I'd be like, oh, I got to know about it. Then I ask him, and in between him responding and me trying to look it up, and it's like, you know, I'm going crazy. That FOMO is bad. FOMO is bad, especially when your homeboys, you know, show you something and you be like, man, I need that too. So yeah, so that's on my list as well. Something else that I want to acquire. There's many books out there. Comic book collecting is not just a hobby. It's a sport. It's a way of life. So, you know, get in where you fit in. If you have any questions about the collecting hobby, any questions about grading, you know, I am a grader. I'll be that until I go on to the afterlife, and hopefully Jesus will let me grade comic books in heaven and, you know, be happy with that job. But yeah, hit me up. Let me know what you think about my list. Let me know what's on your list as well. And, you know, I hope everybody has a great 2025. If this is the only video of mine that you watch until that ball drops tomorrow night, whatever. Anyway, y'all know what I mean. Continue to evolve. It's your man, Jay. And this is Evolutionary Comics, baby. Peace.